My sister banned my fiancé from her wedding, then charged me $48,600. 5 days before my sister's wedding, she sent me a message saying my fiancé was no longer invited. Family only. Marcus makes mom uncomfortable. Please don't turn this into drama. That excuse might have worked if I hadn't arrived at the rehearsal dinner and found 27 guests who weren't related to us. Marcus was the only person excluded. Then the resort's events director approached me with a tablet. "Miss Brooks, we need your approval for the remaining balance." "How much?" $48,600. I stared at her. What remaining balance? My sister Serena smiled from the head table. "Don't embarrass yourself, Natalie. You promised to take care of it." She had no idea. I already knew my signature had been forged. But the man she was supposed to marry the next morning didn't know. Not yet. My name is Natalie Brooks. I was 32 years old and owned a small event logistics company in Denver. I didn't choose flowers or design wedding invitations. My company handled contracts, insurance, certificates, transportation schedules, vendor payments, and all the boring details people ignored until something went wrong. My younger sister Serena called me professionally suspicious. Serena was 29. Beautiful, charming, and very good at turning every request into a test of loyalty. Our mother, Elaine, had spent our childhood explaining that Serena needed more support because she was more sensitive. If Serena forgot a deadline, she was overwhelmed. If I reminded her, I was controlling. If Serena spent money she didn't have, she was optimistic. If I asked how she intended to repay it, I was jealous. Her fiancé, David Whitaker, seemed different. David was a high school principal. He was patient, organized, and careful with money. He came from a practical family and originally wanted a small ceremony at the Denver Botanic Gardens. Serena told him she wanted the same thing. 6 months before the wedding, she called me while I was reviewing a hotel contract. I found the venue she announced. "Congratulations, the Silver Pine Resort." I stopped typing. Silver Pine was a luxury mountain resort outside Vail. A basic wedding there could cost more than some houses. What happened to the botanical garden? It felt ordinary. You said the entire wedding budget was $25,000. David's parents are helping. How much? She ignored the question. You coordinated that medical conference at Silver Pine last year, didn't you? Yes. So you can get me your corporate rate. That rate belongs to contracted clients. Natalie, I'm your sister. That doesn't turn your wedding into a medical conference. Her voice immediately softened. I thought after Dad died we were going to stop treating each other like competitors. Our father had died 3 years earlier. Serena mentioned him whenever she needed a conversation to become too painful to continue. I'm not competing with you, I said. I'm explaining how contracts work. So you won't help. I'll introduce you to the sales director. I may be able to secure a partial discount, but I'm not guaranteeing the wedding. Her mood changed instantly. I knew I could count on you. Through my company, I placed a refundable $5,000 deposit to hold the date. The agreement was simple. Natalie Brooks Events guaranteed only the initial $5,000 deposit. All additional charges were the responsibility of Serena Brooks and David Whitaker. I sent copies to Serena, David, and our mother. David called me that evening. "Thank you for helping with the reservation." "You're welcome. But I want to be clear about something. Serena and I agreed not to exceed $25,000. Then you need to request every revised estimate directly from the resort." She said she already reviewed the numbers. Ask to see them yourself. There was a pause. Is there a problem? Not yet. That answer bothered him. I could hear it. But I had spent years being accused of trying to control Serena. I didn't want to interfere in their relationship without proof. 3 weeks later, Silver Pine sent me a revised proposal. The wedding now cost $58,600. Serena had added a second ballroom, a champagne wall, imported flowers, a 12-piece band, premium photography, and 3 nights of accommodations for selected guests. I called her immediately. Did David approve this? He approved the wedding. That isn't the same thing. He doesn't care about the little details. $58,000 isn't a little detail. His parents can afford it. That doesn't mean they agreed to pay it. She sighed. You always expect the worst from me. I expect the numbers to match the agreement. My wedding is not one of your corporate audits. My company's name is still attached to the reservation. And you've already made it clear you only guaranteed the deposit. Exactly. So why are you panicking? Because someone is going to have to pay the other $53,600. She hung up. The following morning, Mom called. Why did you make Serena cry? I asked. Who was paying for her wedding? David's family is comfortable. That doesn't make their money Serena's. You have always been jealous when your sister receives something beautiful. I paid the deposit. And now you're holding it over her? I'm protecting my company. Mom lowered her voice. Your father would have wanted you to give Serena one perfect day. Dad was an accountant. He would have asked for 3 estimates and a spreadsheet. Natalie, my responsibility ends at $5,000. You sound like a lawyer. Because contracts matter. A few days later, David transferred another $5,000 from the wedding account to the resort. That left a remaining balance of $48,600. He believed the second payment covered most of what Serena owed. She had sent him a PDF showing the total wedding cost as $24,000. It looked professional. It also wasn't real. I didn't learn about that document until much later. 2 months before the wedding, Serena announced in our family group chat that I had refused to be her maid of honor. She had never asked me. When our aunt questioned her, Serena replied, Natalie said she couldn't support the kind of wedding I wanted. I don't need negativity standing beside me at the altar. Several relatives messaged me privately. She's your only sister. Couldn't you put your business concerns aside? Weddings are stressful. I posted the original messages showing that Serena had never invited me into the bridal party. She immediately started a family video call. I didn't ask because I knew you would say no, she said, already crying. You told everyone I refused. Emotionally, you did. I stared at the screen. Emotionally. You have made it obvious you don't approve of me. David was sitting beside her. He didn't blindly defend her. Instead, he asked, Serena, did you actually invite Natalie? Serena looked at him. That's not the point. It's a simple question. She didn't want to support me. That still doesn't mean she refused something you never asked her to do. For the first time, Serena's expression tightened around David. Then Mom interrupted. Everyone is exhausted. We should stop interrogating a bride 2 months before her wedding. The call ended without an apology. But I noticed something important. David had started asking questions. 3 weeks later, the resort sent me a document titled Revised Corporate Payment Guarantee. It stated that Natalie Brooks Events guaranteed all unpaid wedding charges up to $53,600. Everything beyond the original deposit I had authorized. The document carried my electronic signature. I had never seen it before. I called Priya Shah, Silver Pines Events Director. Do not contact Serena yet. Priya went silent. Are you saying this document is fraudulent? I'm saying I need the full portal audit. The document had supposedly been signed at 11:42 on a Sunday night. The access came from an internet connection registered to my mother's house. The verification code had been sent to an old company email address that automatically forwarded messages to Serena. 2 years earlier, during a medical leave, I had allowed her to help respond to basic client inquiries. I had forgotten the forwarding rule still existed. Whoever created the guarantee had downloaded my original authorization, changed the limit from $5,000 to $53,600, and pasted my signature into a new field. The fake guarantee had been uploaded before David made his separate $5,000 payment. That was why it covered the full amount beyond my original deposit, even though the current outstanding balance was now $48,600. Priya asked, should I cancel the event? No, Natalie, your company could have been charged. Freeze the guarantee and preserve the records. Why keep the reservation open? Because if Serena knows we found it, she'll create another explanation before David sees the original evidence. Priya exhaled. The final account meeting is scheduled for the rehearsal dinner. I know. What are you planning? I'm giving my sister a chance to tell the truth without knowing she has to. At the bridal shower, I handed Serena a one-page release. It stated that neither I nor my company was responsible for any wedding expense beyond the original $5,000 deposit. She stared at it. What is this A clarification? You brought legal paperwork to my bridal shower? You can sign it in 30 seconds. The restaurant became quiet. Serena looked around at our mother, aunts, and cousins. Then her eyes filled with tears. Do you see what she does to me? Mom reached for the paper. Natalie put that away. I kept my eyes on Serena. Do you expect me to pay the remaining wedding balance? No. Then sign. I'm not signing something I haven't reviewed. Take it to a lawyer. This is humiliating. It was a private question until you raised your voice. Serena stood. I will not let you turn my wedding into one of your business transactions. Then she tore the release in half. The room turned against me exactly as she intended. My aunt said I had gone too far. One cousin said I needed to work on my control issues. Serena left the restaurant with Mom supporting her by the arm as though I had attacked her. That evening, David called me. Did you ask Serena to sign a financial release during the shower? Yes. She says you promised to cover anything we couldn't afford. Ask her to show you where I promised that. She showed me an email. An original email or a screenshot? He became quiet. A screenshot. Ask her to forward the full message. She says you'll claim it was edited. Then ask the resort for the itemized statement. I've already asked Serena 3 times. That surprised me. What did she give you? A PDF showing $24,000. Did it come directly from Silver Pine? No? Call the resort. I did this morning. They said they couldn't release the billing file because Serena listed herself as the sole financial contact. So you believe me? I believe something is wrong. I don't know what yet. Then don't take my word for it. Come to the final account meeting and hear the number directly. There was a pause. When is it? 8:30 during the rehearsal dinner. I'll be there. The next day, Serena posted an email screenshot in the family group. It appeared to show me writing, "Don't worry about the final total. I'll make sure the family isn't embarrassed." The actual email said, "Don't worry about the deposit deadline. I'll make sure the reservation isn't released before David reviews the final total." She had replaced one sentence and cropped the rest. I posted the original message with the complete thread and timestamp. Serena deleted the conversation. Then she told Mom that I had hacked her phone. That night, Marcus looked over the documents spread across our kitchen table. She doesn't need everyone to believe her forever, he said. No, she only needs them confused until the wedding is over.
Exactly. And after the ceremony, she expects the resort to charge my company.
Because she thinks you won't sue your own sister.
I nodded. Marcus reached across the table and took my hand.
She knows what you're afraid of.
What am I afraid of?
That if you defend yourself publicly, your family will call you cruel. 5 days before the ceremony, Serena sent the message banning Marcus from the wedding. Family only. Marcus has made Mom uncomfortable. Please come alone. I called her. You invited coworkers, neighbors, and 3 women you met at a beauty convention. They're part of our community. Marcus has been with me for 4 years. He asks too many financial questions. I almost admired the honesty. Then I'm not attending. Her voice softened. Natalie, please don't punish me during my wedding weekend. You uninvited my fiancé. You're my sister. You should be able to come alone. Then she said the sentence that explained everything. Besides, I need you there when the venue closes the account. She still believed I was going to pay. I attended the rehearsal dinner without Marcus, not because Serena had won, because Priya and I had scheduled the account meeting for 8:30, and David had promised to be there. When I entered the ballroom, Serena was standing beneath a wall of white roses. David's coworkers were present. His college roommate was there. Serena's yoga instructor was there. 3 influencers she barely knew were filming the champagne display. Apparently, everyone qualified as family except the man I loved. Mom approached me. "Thank you for being mature. Where's David?" "Speaking with the minister." "Has he received the resort's complete statement?" Her smile tightened. "Do not start." At exactly 8:30, Priya entered with the resort's finance director. She carried a tablet and 2 folders. Serena lifted her champagne glass. "Perfect. Natalie can take care of the final details." Priya looked at me. "Miss Brooks, we still need authorization regarding the remaining balance." "How much?" $48,600. I stared at her. "What remaining balance?" Serena laughed nervously. "Don't perform, Natalie." "I'm not performing. You promised to take care of it. Show me where." Mom stepped forward. "Your sister is getting married tomorrow. This is not the time for one of your technical arguments." David entered the room. "What technical argument?" No one answered. Priya handed him the account statement. He read the total twice. $58,600. Serena touched his arm. "It includes amounts we're not really paying." Priya said the figure is accurate. $5,000 was paid as the original deposit. Another $5,000 came from the wedding account. The remaining balance is $48,600. David reached inside his jacket and unfolded a document. I asked Serena for an itemized statement 3 times. She sent me this. Priya examined it. This was not issued by Silverpine. Serena's hand dropped from his arm. David looked at her. "I know." Her face changed. "I called the resort 3 days ago. They couldn't release the account because you made yourself the sole billing contact. That's why I came tonight. I wanted to hear the number directly. I was going to explain when, after everything settled, after the wedding." She looked toward our mother. "Mom said David's weddings become expensive. Serena was afraid you would overreact." He turned to her. "Overreact to what? $50,000 in hidden expenses?" Serena pointed at me. "It doesn't matter." Natalie agreed to help. Priya placed 2 documents on the table. The first was my original authorization limiting my responsibility to the $5,000 deposit. The second was the forged guarantee for $53,600. David looked from one page to the other. "Did Natalie sign this?" "Yes," Serena said. "Did you see her sign it?" "She emailed it. When I don't remember." David took out his phone. "You told me she signed it during the weekend we visited my parents. Maybe she did it remotely. Natalie was working in Toronto that weekend." Serena looked at me. "She can access her accounts from anywhere." Priya opened the audit report. The document was created from a copy of the original agreement. The amount was altered, and Miss Brooks's signature was inserted into a new field. "That could have been anyone," Serena said. "The account was accessed from Elaine Brooks's home internet connection. The verification code was retrieved through an email forwarding rule connected to Serena Brooks." Mom gripped the back of a chair. "I don't understand computers." David didn't look at her. "Serena, did you use your mother's laptop?" "Everyone uses that computer." "That wasn't my question." Her eyes filled. "Why are you interrogating me in front of everyone?" "Because you've had 6 months to answer me privately." Priya removed one final page from the folder. It was a recovered message Serena had sent to our mother shortly after the fake guarantee was uploaded. "Once the ceremony starts, Natalie won't refuse. She'll be too afraid of looking jealous. David only needs to see the $24,000 version." David read it twice. "You created a second statement for me?" Serena reached for him. "I was going to explain after the wedding. After Natalie's company paid $48,600. She can afford it. That isn't consent. She promised to help. No, David said. You counted on her being too ashamed to expose you. Serena began crying. I did all of this because you wanted a beautiful wedding. David's expression changed. I wanted to marry you at the botanical garden for $25,000. You would have been embarrassed. By what? By looking ordinary. He stared at her. That was never my fear, Serena. It was yours. The finance director closed the folder. Without a valid guarantor, the remaining balance is due by midnight. Otherwise, tomorrow's event will be canceled. Serena looked desperately at David. Call your parents. He slowly removed his ring and placed it on top of the false statement. The resort didn't cancel our wedding. His voice was calm. You did that when you forged her name. Serena followed me into the hallway. You knew about the document. For 2 months. Her anger disappeared. Then why didn't you stop the wedding? I gave you the release. I asked you to show David the real statement. I gave you every opportunity to tell the truth. You wanted this to happen, in front of everyone. No. You wanted everyone here because you thought the crowd would pressure me into paying. She had no answer. Serena had always known how to control separate conversations. She couldn't control a room once everyone held the same evidence. The ceremony was canceled the next morning. David recovered the money he had placed in the protected wedding account and ended the engagement permanently. The resort referred the forged guarantee to its insurer and to law enforcement. Serena eventually pleaded guilty to attempted fraud and identity theft. She received probation, community service, and a restitution order covering the resort's legal expenses. Several sponsors stopped working with her after the court record became public. Mom continued calling it one desperate mistake. It wasn't. A mistake happens once. Serena forged my signature, altered David's statements, edited emails, excluded Marcus, and built an entire wedding around the belief that I would be too ashamed to defend myself. Marcus and I married the following spring at a small lodge outside Boulder. There were 32 guests, no hidden invoices, and no one at the table who believed love created a financial obligation. Before the ceremony, Marcus asked whether I regretted going to Serena's rehearsal without him. Yes, I said. But I needed to understand something. What? My sister believed family meant the person she could charge without permission. And what does it mean now? I looked around at the people who had arrived without demands, lies, or emotional invoices. Family is the person who doesn't require you to betray yourself to keep them comfortable. Serena believed the truth destroyed her wedding. It didn't. The truth simply refused to pay for it.